Welcome back to Good Morning La Land. We are live in Los Angeles with the Passionista herself, Erica de la Cruz. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Jess, on this friggin' set. And you guys are just gorgeous. So thank you for having me.
We love that you're a part of the Focus family, obviously. So thank you for spending your morning with
Love
us.
it.
Congratulations on the success of your book.
Thank you so much. I was just looking at all the monitors and I'm like, oh, there's so much pink. Okay, good. I feel I feel good. Yeah.
To have an Amazon #1 bestseller is huge.
It was a little cray-cray. It was definitely a turning point in my life and my business, my brand, my career. And it was a little bit crazy, but I was lucky to be surrounded by some really fantastic people, including my business partner who was the publisher on it. And so he's like, it's all normal. He sort of walked me through it. So I thank God for that. So if I would have been sort of alone and getting this news, I don't know, I would have been a little bit like, what do I do now? So, yeah.
So your book says tips, tales, and tweetables from women pursuing their dreams. So tell us about some of your favorites. In the book.
Absolutely. So Passionistas, tips, tales, and tweetables from women pursuing their dreams. The book itself is a real underlying commitment to the things that you actually can't find on the social feeds of young women you look up to right now. So it's rare that we publish our most personal, trials and tribulations on our Instagram feeds. Let's be honest.
Yeah, nobody wants to read about it.
Nobody, yeah. So,
At least, actually, they do, but I don't want to share it.
Right. So that's actually what the book aims to sort of break is this imaginary wall between, who you are as a persona and a personality and being able to share vulnerably with the world. Because that's what helped me personally while I was starting out. I underwent a lot of loss. It's chapter 1, everyone, if you get the book. The economy crash of 2009 sort of took everything that I've ever had physically. And I mean, like my family, my relationships, they were just sort of gone. And so I sort of turned to these other people that I idolized and women and celebrities that I just loved. And I got to know their truths and their stories through YouTube links and really just investigating in some books what they've been through. And I'm like, I'm no different. This is great. Like, I'm still on my path. So, so some of my favorites are, I have a chapter in there, and it's really dedicated to the people who helped me get through that time. But
Who are those people?
Those people are I call them my family. So it's interesting because when you lose everything, and I mean our items were sold to the state. So everything I grew up with was sold at various swap meets for the duration of my college years. So for about 3 years, I'd get these random Facebook messages like, we think we see a photo of you, we think your furniture's in some random town. Wow. And the family sort of broke up, as it does during sort of depressions. So my family is who the book's actually dedicated to. And the answer to that question, which is, I have these 2 best friends, a nanny I grew up with. I was 3 months old when she started raising me, and we lost, our home and things. And all of a sudden, she started rebuilding this room in her house and started telling me, like, you can come back whenever you need to. And I started seeing these items appearing in this room she built for the first year. That was before I had known that our storage units were all sold. And then at a point in the year, she said, I want to share something with you. I know you keep trying to figure out how I have all of this stuff, but I'm going and I'm buying it back.
Oh my God, that is
so sweet.
Beautiful.
And so that's who the book's dedicated to. That is, what I wanted to share.
So take us through, I'm assuming that your parents went through bankruptcy. They had stuff in the storage units. They all got sold off. You lost everything to your name, and now you're on the journey of what it really means to have true wealth. Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It didn't start out with that intention. However, fast forward into the glee part, I had nothing and felt like I was armed with everything I ever needed. And then I really got there's nothing to lose. So the risk level, I became a lot more tolerant for sure. And I took them. So out of college, I became a marketing director for a broadcasting company, sort of used those resources to transition to my personal brand, television, and really discovered entrepreneurship through Bob Proctor, who is
amazing master.
He's amazing. And it's crazy because Bob Proctor worked in this world of the people who actually trained Tony Robbins. And I'm so lucky to be acquainted with those Goliaths. I met my business partner And it turned out he was Jim Rohn's business partner of 18 years. And Jim sort of trained Tony, was a grandfather of this personal development mindset. So he published the Chicken Soup for the Entrepreneur Soul books back when. He said, I think that just this generation and this girl boss movement happening needs something similar to the Chicken Soup book. So, he saw a partner in me, and I came up with the branding. I came up with really pitching 39 female entrepreneurs that I was in love with. I was in love with their careers, what they were building, the brands they had, and I asked them to share their true stories inside of the book. So every chapter is a trial and tribulation that these young women have been through.
What were some of the greatest lessons you learned through those stories?
One of the greatest lessons I think that I've learned is that I'm not alone. No one is alone. Like anything that, and that's really my commitment here on Earth. And it's pretty big, but for someone to be able to say, oh, me too, or that happened to me, or resonate with someone else's story is what I got from even creating the book, which is reading the stories of these women who I idolized. They were my peers, but they were also building some really incredible things. So to hear about their face plants, their rejections, and their mistakes, one of the common threads that was unexpected was the loss of a lot of the women had lost their mothers and they had passed away. And for a young woman without her mom, I experienced that to the degree that mine didn't pass away. However, when all of that happened, straight out of a soap opera, like our other guest today, she retreated from materialism and really went into homelessness. And I felt so lost without her when I read these stories of these young women without even physically having their mothers on the planet. I just felt so comforted to know that someone else is going through the same things. We're all humans. It's this common thread of humanity is what I really took from the process.
And it's nothing that's ever going to hold you back, but really just freed you.
It freed me in a whole, the more that I can get other people's stories and get those stories into the hands of the rest of the people needing to hear them, it's freeing. It's just like shackles gone. Yeah.
Let's just shackle up with that old Pharaoh handbag.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that shackle.
I'll take that pink shackle I was just looking at. I'll take that purse in a heartbeat.
Well, where can people find you and find the book and everything else, obviously?
Totally. So they can find me at, right now it's at Passion to Paycheck, #Passionistas. The book has sort of evolved into its own brand conference and now show here on the Focus TV network. So at Passion to Paycheck, and then my personal handles are at _ Erica Dela Cruz, ericadelacruz.com. Come hang out. Passionistas and Passionistas are all
Yes.
Here I am.
I think
We're included.
It's such a great point, though, just I think working with entrepreneurs and everything, that they have to somehow be okay with not getting the money at the same time. Like that non-attachment is so
100%.
important. So your story is very important. I went through the 2008. I watched so many friends lose everything to their name.
Yeah.
It's a really tough time, but actually what came out of everyone's values shifted to much better values.
That's gorgeous. I just
in
got
some
chills.
ways,
That's
right?
totally exactly right.
Thank you for your story. It's really important and it's really touching.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah.
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 Thank
Stay
you.
tuned. We'll be right back.